That's good, okay. This time I'd like to call up Dave Hahn, Lackawanna County Director of Emergency Services. First and foremost, I'd just like to thank Dave Hahn for the great job that he does as our Director of Emergency Services. I think about how speedy and ready they are for all matters to make sure that our community is safe, our 214,000 citizens. I'd like to thank him for the work that his 911 operators do. A lot of people don't realize they save people over the phone. They've given CPR lessons over the phone for people to save their loved ones, and most recently, they actually helped deliver a baby. And beyond that, he is a veteran. So I'd like for Dave to get up for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ranked Sergeant, Army veteran Dave Hahn, who served 6 years in 101st Airborne, one tour in Central America. Director Hahn is an aircraft rescue specialist, earning 2 Army Accommodation Medals, 2 Army Achievement Medals, the Good Conduct Medal, and the Air Assault Badge. He is a graduate and non-commissioned of the Officer Academy. Thank you for your service. The floor is yours.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for a moment of silence. We have Police Officer Adam Edwards Miller, Fort Myers Police Department, Florida, succumbed to a gunshot wound sustained on July 21st, 2018, responding to an assault and a bank robbery. Police Officer Michael J. Michalski, Milwaukee Police Department, Wisconsin, was shot and killed while attempting to apprehend a wanted suspect. Also, we have Corrections Officer Kyle Lawrence Ng, who had a fatal heart attack while struggling with an inmate in Las Vegas Detention Center. Also, Trooper Tyler James Endorf was shot and killed after he and several officers responded to reports of a subject throwing rocks at vehicles off I-10. And Private Investigator Timothy Dale Cole, Sr., of the Comanche County District Attorney's Office, Oklahoma, succumbed to a gunshot wound sustained while apprehending a suspect. I'd like to keep all of our law enforcement in our thoughts and prayers while their family and friends go through this horrible time. Just a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd like to bring this Thursday, August 9th, 2018, Board of Commissioners meeting to order at the North Pocono Public Library. Before we get into the approval of the minutes, I'd like to thank Susan Jeffries and her beautiful library here. I actually went to the old library. The old library was probably, you say half of this room probably? Yeah. And it was they were in dire need. The people of North Pocono community were in dire need of a beautiful new library. And this is one of the best jewels of the library system of Lackawanna County. This is not only a library, it's a community center, it's a vegetable garden, it's a learning center, there's a reading tree, there's movies. People come here and set up their resumes. This is a little bit of everything for the people of the North Pocono community. So congratulations, this is such a fabulous building, and thank you for allowing us to be here. And it's a great opportunity for us to have an opportunity to show it on ECTV and showcase what you have here. So thank you very much, Susan. And to our elected officials, the mayor, council, and our supervisors here, thank you for coming out this evening. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. The board like to say anything else? Would they like to say anything about it?
It's a beautiful building, and thank you so much for sponsoring us this evening. My passion is getting out to the public, and that's what these evening meetings are about, to try and make sure that all the citizens are aware of what's happening at the county level. So thank you to all of you for attending, and thank you to my fellow commissioners for always supporting my efforts in this evening meeting.
Commissioner Terrian?
Just thank you for inviting us into your building. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for reading the approval of the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Proclamation presentations, 18-0166, Small Business Spotlight, Mendocino's. Commissioner Cummings.
We have Mendocino's Pizza and Family Restaurant. Christine and Lynn Mendocino, come on up to the podium and tell us a little bit about your business.
We're from family run and own business. We've been in business for now over 30 years. We pride ourselves in very giving a lot to the North Pocono community because they're, they give to us and we give to them. So we just we appreciate the whole area.
Did you start the business on your own, your family?
Well, my husband and I. My husband passed away in January, so now it's just me and my daughter and my sister-in-law, Almeida, who wasn't able to be here tonight because she's on vacation, which is a good thing. And so now we took over and just,
I'm sorry for your loss.
thank you.
And I appreciate your continued business in that loss, so thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about what made you start a business? Why?
Well, my husband started out working for his uncle when he was in high school. And then he decided he really liked the business and he, at one time, was a partner in another restaurant. And then after we got married, he decided that we needed to go out on his own. And that's when we moved up to the North Pocono area and we opened up the restaurant. At first, it was just a little to-go restaurant where people would just get pizza and hoagies and that was it. Then we ended up moving over across the parking lot, and now we have we seat over 150 people. We have catering room, we have a lounge, we have a bar, so we expanded totally.
And this is your daughter?
This is my daughter, Christine, yes.
Christine, are you going to be taking over the business? Do you work there now? Are you helping out?
I work there now, but probably not going to take it over.
Well, I appreciate the fact that your parents had the tenacity and courage to open a business, a small business, and grow it. And that's the whole point of having our small business spotlight, is to show how our local citizens are doing things to improve our economy and to provide jobs to the local area that they're living in and servicing their citizens. So thank you so much, and I look forward to one day seeing your restaurant and meeting.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I appreciate you being here, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Commissioner Terrian.
It's a beautiful place. You have-
You're not getting away with
It's
that.
okay. It's a beautiful place. You have great food. It's a pleasure to go there. Being in business these days is very difficult. By the time you pay bills, and I can see your daughter's reluctance in being sure. But it's a challenge. But again, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate you. You have a great family business, but your husband Jasper, he was one of the best guys in this world. I'm very sorry for your loss. And I know he loved that restaurant. I know you love your restaurant too.
That's why we keep everything.
It's not easy. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. You know yourself, and your customers are your friends and family. They really are.
Oh, they are.
I mean,
That's what they are.
coming in same time every week, every so often they're in to see, and they care about you as much as you care about them. And to be able to give someone a great meal, make them happy, make them smile, and maybe have some drinks at your bar or have a catered event at your facility is great. You know what I mean? You make a lot of people happy. And I'd just like to congratulate you and your family on your contributions to the North Pocono community since 1987. But thank you, and thank you to your husband. I know your husband is up above watching what
Yes,
you're doing, so,
definitely.
but I'm very sorry for your loss, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Cummings?
So today, a certificate of recognition, the County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize Mendocino's Pizza and Family Restaurant in honor of achieving the designation of a small business spotlighted in Lackawanna County, given this 9th day of August 2018 by Commissioner Patrick O'Malley, Commissioner Jerry Natariani, and myself, Commissioner Cummings. Come on up and receive the award.
Yeah, we'll front the table will be in the land.
Okay. Thanks.
You're going right
Thank
now.
you.
I'll get out of the way.
What's that, Carol?
I'm going to get out of the way.
You don't have to, buddy.
Congratulations.
You were fine.
So proud of you.
Congratulations. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's an adventure. Congratulations.
Perfect, thanks.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
18-0167, Good Work Certificate of Recognition for the North Pocono Public Library. And the recipient of that certificate is going to be Director Susan Jeffries. Would you like to come up to the podium and we'll talk about the great library here, everything that you have. And it was a struggle. I remember when they broke ground for this facility. I'm sure most of the people that are from the area were at the event itself. Tough getting the money, you know, small facility, and everybody loves it up here. It is. And everybody walked in from our administration, never saw the building, were amazed how beautiful it is. So
Thank you. Thank you.
let's hear about the wonderful library.
Well, we're so proud to be able to serve the North Pocono community. We embrace everyone in the community, and we serve everyone from basically the day they're born until the day that they can no longer visit us anymore at the library. And I just had a parent yesterday who came into my library and said she was just so overwhelmed and amazed at her summer reading program because her kids enjoyed it so much that we just, she said, and I quote, "It was over the top." And we take the kids out into the garden, and we do that because we want them to learn. Reading, of course, is fundamental and basic to the program, but we want them to learn a lot more. STEM and STEAM, those kind of skills. We want them to learn where their food comes from. But our library, it's also a giving garden. It's an opportunity for intergenerational programming, and it's an opportunity to give back to the food pantry. But our library is a lot more than the garden. It's an opportunity to help people get employment. We help them with their resumes. We help them fax employment applications out. And if they're producing a resume, we don't charge them for their copies because we know they're actively seeking employment, and that's good for the economy. We work with our elderly. We did a wonderful life planning series here earlier this year to help the elderly learn how to get important documents so that they are in place should something occur, how to plan a end-of-life celebration, and how to get services through the Lackawanna County Office of the Aging, which is very important. And we partner with different people in the community. We partner with the North Pocono School District. We have kids coming here every day for their summer reading books. And we partner with the North Pocono Cultural Society, so we're out and about in the community. And we also outreach to the Head Start and to the preschools in the community. So we like to think that we have our tendrils out there in the community, impacting people in a variety of ways. I made about 50 copies. We have an update about some of the things that we've done. And just to highlight, what we do is we work fundamentally under the Pennsylvania Library Association's PA Forward principles, so that we work under the areas of basic and early literacy, information literacy, health literacy, financial literacy, and civic and social literacy. We find that these are the top priorities, and so our programming and services are based upon these 5 principles. We're very proud to have been honored by the Pennsylvania Library Association to be a Gold Star Library. We've worked very hard to do that and to serve the North Pocono community the best that we can. We thank the commissioners and the county, because if it weren't for the basis, you folks helped with some of the basics for the early funding for the program through the library system, and you help keep us in operation, and that is critical. We need those operating funds so that we can provide these services to the community. because libraries are essential and we need them to be sustainable in the community. So we thank you for coming up to come and see our library and enjoy our library, and we thank you for funding us and all of your support.
You love your library, too.
I do love my library.
Yes, you do.
I love my kids. I love everybody who comes in here.
And you come up with great ideas. I know you got a lot of people that help you. It's fabulous.
This year we will be open on Veterans Day. We decided that the people that work here are not veterans, and so my staff agreed to swap on a holiday. So we will be open on Veterans Day, and we're working on establishing a program just to welcome veterans in, and hopefully we'd like to launch a program with the Library of Congress to collect stories through the Veterans History Project. So, we're always trying to do more, and also to respect the people who have served us and who are in our community. So we do love our community very much, each and every one of them. Thank you.
Commissioner Cummings?
Well, congratulations and thank you for all of your hard work. It's a beautiful library, and I'm proud of the work that you're doing, so thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Notarianni?
I've yet to find someone that I've spoken with that works for the library system that does not love what they do. It's it doesn't matter what library you go into. It's a great place. It helps a lot of people with a whole different array of issues in their lives, and whether it's the resumes or the young children, it's just great. You guys do a great job, and thank you all.
Susan, I'm not sure how many people realize, but what you serve 9 municipalities in the North Pocono area, including Moscow, Elmhurst, Madison Township, Roaring Brook, Springbrook Township, Thornhurst, Jefferson Township, Covington, and Clifton Township. And you serve all of them. And like I said before, this is not just a library. This is a community center. It's a work center. It's a preschool. It's a school. It's so many different things. And it's a garden. And you grow love in this garden. I know you do. This, this is a facility that makes sure that everybody, that their needs are taken care of here. And it is. It's beyond the library. It really, really, truly is. And also I wanted to bring up, and she never forgets her veterans. She has a nice Flag Day event up here. And for those in the audience, there's not too many Flag Day events. There's like maybe 3 or 4 that go on in all Lackawanna County that day. And Susan's library is one of them. So congratulations, and never forgetting our veterans. So, we have a certificate of recognition. The County of Lackawanna Board of Commissioners does hereby recognize North Pocono Public Library for achieving a designation of an organization providing great works in Lackawanna County. Given the 9th day of August 2018 by Patrick M. O'Malley, Jerry Notarianni, and Maureen A. Cummings. Would you like to come forward for your certificate?
Board members as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, bring the board members. Absolutely.
Congratulations, good
Thank
job.
you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. You're the best. You did a great job. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jerry.
Excellent, thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Congratulations, everyone. It's the last time I've...
Last music. But I mean, coming up here, it's always a privilege to go out and be in the community, but to come up to this facility today it was just great just driving, coming up here, because I love the library and I just think it gives so much back to the North Pocono community.
It's in a great spot, right off the... Great spot.
Great spot. Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay. I'd also like to thank all of our directors and deputy directors and assistants that are here tonight. They're here to answer any questions that if anybody from the community came out, and just about all of them are here. I'd also like to thank our deputy sheriffs for being here. It really matters to all of us here tonight. We're going to go into resolutions. 18-0165, I'd like to make a motion approving current payables. Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question.
Thank you, Commissioners. Want me to read it first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve the following payables. Lackawanna County General Fund, numbers 267114 through 267937 inclusive, totaling $4,798,042.49, and electronic fund transfers, including all payroll accounts, totaling $4,173,942.
Roll call?
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0156,
Thank you, Commissioner. This is a resolution authorizing a community traffic safety grant application. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby authorize the filing of a grant application with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation for the Lackawanna County Highway Safety Program Community Traffic Safety Project. The project will address highway safety issues. Intervention strategies will target schools, community, and enforcement. The grant shall cover the period of October 1st, 2019 through September 30th, 2021. Here to speak on this is Christina Sullivan, our Safety Program Coordinator. Christina?
Christina, let's talk about what the program does. I love the program. I know you do a great job, and I know you love the kids, and you love working with law enforcement. It's just great.
Yes, it is. This is for the grant year period. This federal fiscal year is 19 and 20. This is the first time that there will be a 2-year grant period, and it will cover Lackawanna and Pike counties. What we go out to the communities and do, we do aggressive driving and speeding, bicycle safety, child passenger safety, commercial motor vehicle safety, distracted driving, drowsy driving, teen driving, mature driving, railroad crossing safety, you name it. We also have a national certification in child passenger safety, so we're able to provide to our communities in need if anyone needs a child passenger, their safety being checked. So we go out and do everything. We work very closely with our municipal, law enforcement, Pennsylvania State Police. And it takes a while to build up those community relations. We go out and support them in many of their mobilizations and campaigns, such as Buckle Up PA, Click It or Ticket, aggressive driving, different mobilizations that go on throughout the year.
Christina, talk about when the kids are there with the different police departments from different municipalities, the smart looks on their face. And
It is. The Bicycle Safety Fair this year, it's really a nice event every year provided by the commissioners to the community and the children. And everyone gets a free bicycle safety, which is really great, offering that to the children out in the communities. And each of the police officers that came, there was Taylor and Stratton that were involved, checked every helmet on every child.
they were fitting them with the helmet.
Fitting the helmets, not just, giving them away to them. So kind of like as a little safety and insurance. And the looks on their faces, it was one thing for me to sit down and help them with their helmets, but they really looked up to the officers, that were helping them. And they do a nice bicycle presentation on just, bike safety tips. So we do some really nice programs out in the community. We have some information here I'm going to give to the commissioners this evening. We just got them back today. We've worked really hard on them, and they're really great. So, and I'll give everyone some.
These came back.
Thanks.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Thank you.
Good job.
And thank you for your support, Commissioner. Thank you. Do we have any questions?
I'd also like to acknowledge, you got Mike Toledo from PennDOT that accommodates, that comes with you to a lot of your events. He's usually the background guy, but he's all front. He absolutely is.
Yes, he is.
I love the idea that we have an opportunity to be able to help just make sure that our children are safe. Like I said, the buckle up and the helmets and everything else. A lot of people, it's sort of say, but they might not even know how to put it. I've actually, you have to learn how to put in the right way to put in your child's safety seat in the car. It's amazing, or making sure. I was watching the police officer there when they're carefully fixing the chin strap on the helmets for the children. It's just,
There was a car fit event, which is for mature drivers. I'm one of those now, by the way.
Yeah,
and
me
we
too.
We do a fitting with, they told me today that someone drove from Binghamton to have this car fitting.
Nice.
To attend the car fit event. So we really do some nice things, we really show out the community. Thank you.
Commissioner Cummings?
Well, I have to congratulate you on your work because I've watched you grow this into something that's truly amazing.
Thank you.
It's, it's a true testament to your hard work and determination to get a grant and make a really great program out of it. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of your work, and it's been amazing to watch what you've turned this into. So.
Thank you, that's much appreciated.
No, thank you, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're doing a great job, and we all recognize it, and so does everyone in the community. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Commissioner Terriani?
Great job, Christine, as usual.
I know you love what you do.
I do.
I see the interaction when you go to the different preschools and daycare and stuff for the kids, and the kids are like, oh, it is.
Leave them.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have all that fun for an hour or two and then leave. But they're right with her, and you do an amazing job.
Yeah, they're very impressionable at that age, so it's great, to know and hear about the students. As a matter of fact, 2 of the students, I believe, Fran, you can confirm this, 2 of the students from Head Start programs won bicycles this year. Yeah, I believe, boys and girls. So that's really, that comes about from being out in the community, and these are, children that have a need for this, so for them to be able to get bicycles and all that stuff is really great, really great.
But congratulations again, and like I said, I could see when you're out and you're with the children that your heart is completely and utterly with it, so
Thank you.
congratulations. Okay, I'd like to make a motion authorizing the Community Traffic Safety Grant application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Yes. Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Congratulations, Christina.
Thank you. And you'll have to excuse us,
Go
we're
ahead.
going to...
I'm sorry, I want to bring this up.
Mayfield's night out.
Mayfield is having their
Yes.
nights out tonight, starting at, I think the parade was 6 o'clock.
was at 6,
So,
yeah.
and I ran into the chief, and the chief said to me, make sure you get her out of the meeting fast, and I think we did pretty good, so.
He's a great guy. He's a
Yeah.
great guy.
Well, they're waiting for you, so
Thank you.
see you later.
Do you want to combine something?
Commissioner,
Yeah, go ahead.
with your permission, I
Good.
suggest we combine the next 3. They're all community development block grants, items 157, 158, and 159.
Sure. Okay.
Item number 157, a resolution, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby authorize entering into a cooperation agreement with the Borough of Archibald for an ADA elevator reconstruction project. Could be awarded to Port Elevator Incorporated for a lowest responsible bid of $58,900. Item 158 is a cooperation agreement with the Borough of Mayfield for the Mayfield Borough ADA ramp reconstruction project. The bid to be awarded to Rock Bottom Construction LLC as the most responsible and qualified bidder at $78,910. And the final one, item number 159, is a cooperation agreement with the Borough of Jessup for the Delaware and Han Street Sanitary Sewer Reconstruction Project, with the bid being awarded to Leeward Construction Incorporated with the lowest responsible bidder at a bid of $287,230.30. And here to speak on that is our Deputy Director of Community Development, Brenda Sacco.
Good evening, everyone. These agreements are very standard with our Community Development Block Grant Program. They are required and they protect the communities and also the contractors and the county. So they're standard and they are required. Are there any questions?
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for 18-0157, 18-0158, and 18-0159. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, Brenda.
I have one more, I think.
Oh, okay. 18-0160.
Thank you, Commissioner. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County is hereby authorized to submit modifications for the following community development block grant programs to the Pennsylvania Department of Economic Development. 1. Lackawanna County on behalf of the following Blakely Borough Community Development Block Grant Programs. Federal fiscal year 2013, the modification will transfer $14,195.09 out of the water/sewer improvements line item for the Blakely 2nd Street Storm Sewer Improvement Project. These funds will be transferred to create the street improvements line item for the Blakely, Josephine, and Mott Street Improvement Project. Federal fiscal year 2014, the modification will delete the streets improvement line item for the Blakely East Mountain Road Bridge Improvement Project. The funds will be transferred to create the street improvements line item for the Blakely, Josephine, and Mott Street Improvement Project of $83,805.64. And be it further resolved that the county has complied with the terms of Act 179 and has met all citizen participation requirements in connection with the above-mentioned modifications. Brenda?
Yes. Again, this is for our Community Development Block Grant Program, and this resolution is on behalf of the Blakely Borough. So they had projects that they either completed, like in the case of 2nd Street, where they had remaining funds that they don't want to lose, so they want to transfer to another project. And then the East Mountain Road Bridge project did not qualify, so those funds, again, they don't want them to be lost, so they are going to transfer them to the Josephine and Mott Street Improvement Project. And again, these are standard resolutions, and citizen participation is very important with the CDBG program, and that's why these resolutions are presented.
Does the board have any questions? I'd like to make a motion authorizing the community development block grant modification. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0161. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is Resolution Number 161, entering into an agreement with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into an agreement with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce for the administration and operation of a Teacher in the Workplace project, providing 45 Lackawanna County school teachers with the opportunity to explore career pathways in the logistics, transportation, advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and business finance information technology industry sectors through job shadowing, industry immersion, and career awareness activities. And here to speak to the board on that is Virginia Toronto, our Workforce Development Director. Virginia.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm here today to request your approval of a financial agreement with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce. Just a little bit of history on this grant. The board submitted a grant to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania back in the spring, specifically to request services for Teacher in the Workplace. We received a $50,000 grant, of which $5,000 is administration money and will cover salaries of the minimal salaries of the Workforce Development Board Director and Fiscal Manager, and the remainder of the funds will go directly to the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce for distribution to school districts for substitute teachers to allow their teachers to go out into the workplace and experience what actual on-the-job with experiences are with manufacturing, again, logistics and transportation, business finance, and healthcare. Lindsay Grady actually authored the proposal of exactly what the chamber is proposing to do, and she is here, and she's going to give you a brief history of what they intend to do, and can answer some questions. I will say we've done this in numerous times in the past. However, this year we're going to do put a little different spin on it. It was always a one-week activity in the summer, and this year the chamber is proposing to carry it throughout the school year. So do you want to give a little overview?
Absolutely, thank you. Commissioners, thank you for having us. But this is an opportunity for educators to get out into Lackawanna County businesses so that they can integrate the opportunities for their students once they leave school of where they can find gainful employment. Helps our businesses because then there's awareness raised about opportunities right here in our backyard. Hopefully allows us to keep our young and youngsters here right in the community and retain our best and our brightest. So as Virginia had said, we've conducted this in the past, but on a much smaller scale. For example, we may have had 10 educators who participated. And so we took a larger approach, and we reached out to every school district and talked to them about whether the methodology would work of having it during the school year, whether we could have increased participation. So we almost quadrupled the number of educators that we want to include, as well as expanding it into 3 additional industry sectors in Lackawanna County. We had a letter of support from every superintendent, as well as the Career Technology Center in the county. We also worked with businesses to see whether they would be willing to host educators, and we had 15 businesses that committed to hosting them, showing them all the ins and outs of their businesses, what type of jobs are there for their students, working with them after the fact so that they can come into the classroom, they can talk to kids about what do we do in Mendocinos and what kind of things can you do if you study culinary at the Career Technology Center, just a small example. So it's going to be a good opportunity for our educators and for our students.
Does the board have any questions? I'd like to make a motion entering into agreement with the Greater Scranton Chamber of Commerce. Do I have a second? Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. It's a great opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Thank you.
18-0162.
Thank you, Commissioner. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into a Child Welfare Information Solution Dating Sharing Agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services for an electronic data exchange with the 67 Pennsylvania County Children and Youth Agencies. And here to speak on this agreement is Bill Browning, our Director of Human Services.
Good afternoon.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's 1 out of 3. This is an agreement. We're required to share data with the state, and they provide aggregate reports, et cetera, and monitoring. This agreement ensures that we employ industry standards to protect the data through policy and technology.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Browning? I'd like to make a motion entering in the Quest data sharing agreement. Do I have a second? Second. Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0163.
Stay there, Bill. You're up again. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby approve an agreement between the University of Pittsburgh and its Child Welfare Education for Leadership Program and the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services of Office and Children and Youth Family Services for a student, Stacy Vogel-Mussel. Bill?
This is an ongoing program that we've had with the state that allows our caseworkers to obtain master's degrees free of charge to them, and it's no cost to the county. For that, it increases our staff retention. They're committed to us for roughly 2 years after attaining the master's.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Browning? I'd like to make a motion entering into an agreement with the University of Pittsburgh. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
18-0164.
Thank you, Commissioner. Awarding a prison GED prep course proposal. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby award the proposal for the GED prep course preparation and testing course for incarcerated individuals to Outreach Center for Community Resources after receiving the recommendation from the Prison Board. And here to speak to the board on this is our warden, Tim Betty.
Good evening, Board. Short while ago, we advertised an RFP in the newspaper for GED services, a prep course, and we got a few submissions, and of those submissions, I had recommended Outreach. I took that to the Prison Board. The Prison Board, as a board itself, agreed as well, and so that's in front of us now to see about awarding that to Outreach.
Does the board have any questions for Warden Betty?
Just a commentary, because our prisoners are only there for 2 weeks, 30 days, correct, most of them?
The majority of them, yes.
Yeah, so how would that work if they have a GED program? How long does it last?
It lasts longer than that, but that's part of our job, is identifying who's going to be there longer, because we do get sentenced offenders coming in the doors as well. We can hold people up to 2 years, so we frequently will get individuals that are doing 6 months to a year, 9 months to 23 months, things along those lines. We identify those individuals, and we take a look at their educational level. When they come in, an intake is done, and part of that intake is inquiring into their educational level. On top of that, Outreach is already in there, and they're doing a weekly needs assessment of all individuals who have been committed to the facility in the past week, so they're pretty aware of who's there too. They may not know how long they're going to be. We're good at predicting that part, but they're really good at identifying those individuals that are in need.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. I'd like to make a motion to award the prison GED prep course proposal. Or a second? Good. On the question, I'd just like to say that I've seen this program work in the past. And it was, what's it been now, for about 5-6 years out of the prison?
Yes.
And you get a lot of adults that will get involved in this, the ones that are doing longer terms there. And for a lot of them, they might not have ever had a great accomplishment in their lives. And Timmy, am I right? Isn't it like a great accomplishment for some of them?
It certainly is,
It's a better
yes.
opportunity on the street when they try to get a job.
Yeah.
And also, like, for the viewing audience, so they know that we also have, there's a teacher that goes out there, and this is through the state, basically, that we have to make sure that any teenager that's out there from the ages of like 17, that might be designated as an adult, up to 21, that they can actually get their diploma. And we do usually have students, Sorbo said, they graduate from the prison, and there's a classroom out there, and it's for them to make sure that they have a diploma, and maybe that will keep them out of prison, or, keep them, get them a good job, so it's a good opportunity.
Yep.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings? Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thanks, Karen. 18-0168.
Thank you, Commissioner. Entering into a purchase of service agreements, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby enter into a purchase of service agreement with the County of Northampton and with Vision Quest National for the purchase of a total of 8 beds for the housing of juvenile detainees. Here to speak on the contracts is Mary Stein, our Director of the Juvenile Detention Center. Mary?
Hello. Good, how are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you. So the contracts are in front of me, and I just believe, I did speak to the judge this afternoon, and they're ready, just waiting for signatures, and beginning tomorrow at 10 a.m., there will be no juveniles at the center.
Did you have an opportunity, solicitor, to look at that?
My suggestion is approved and subject to solicitor's review.
Okay.
Final review.
Absolutely. Okay, I'd like to make a motion entering into the purchase of a service agreement. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any questions? Roll
No.
call.
I just have commentary. I just want to congratulate Mary on all her hard work, because she's worked very
Thank
hard to
you.
get all this done. And it's been a long, grueling year now, almost.
Yeah, it's been a long time,
So,
yeah.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Appreciate it.
Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. 18-0155.
Thank you, Commissioner. Appointment to the Pennsylvania Northeast Regional Railroad Authority. Be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lackawanna County does hereby appoint the following individual to the Pennsylvania Northeast Regional Railroad Authority. James Tierney of Greenfield Township, term to begin immediately and to expire on December 31st, 2022.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to the appointment to Pennsylvania Northeast Regional Rail Authority. Can I have a second?
Second.
Question?
The only thing I'd like to say about this is the person that is leaving, Dominic Healy, has been there for 12 years and has done a great job. The good part of that is that Jim Tierney is a quality individual that will do a good job also. I'm glad to have him serve on that board.
I agree with that. And he's very excited about it, so he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, 12 years is a long time. He did a great job on the board. He really did. He really loved trains, and I'd thank him for his 12 years and his time they put in. Absolutely. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Terriani?
Yes.
Commissioner Cummings?
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, opportunity for the public to address the board. Okay. Commissioners, other business.
I wanted to give Don the floor for a minute to have an opportunity to discuss, and Attorney Brazil, Attorney Frederickson, and temporary Chief of Staff, acting Chief of Staff, Frederickson, to talk about some of the issues that happened at CCAP in regards to the voting machines. I think that the public deserves to know what's going on with that. So if you can give us a little update on that, that'd be great.
Absolutely, Commissioner. We were at CCAP over the last couple of days with Commissioner Cummings and some other officials from the county. And basically, it's a gathering of county commissioners and officials from across the Commonwealth. And one of the issues, of course, front and center is the voting machine situation. The state is mandating the replacement of all voting machines across the Commonwealth. It's an unfunded mandate in many respects because they're not providing the funding at this point to cover the cost of it. The other issue is there were 2 vendors there with sample machines that they were demonstrating. However, none of them have yet been certified by the Commonwealth, so you couldn't even begin the process of ordering machines because we don't, quite frankly, know which ones are approved and which ones are not going to be approved by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. A lot of the counties are asking the legislature, well, CCAP is going to ask the legislature to reconsider the mandate, and especially the timeline. They want to implement this during the 2020 presidential election, which, as you know, presidential elections are one of our busiest elections. They would prefer, if we had to roll it out during a municipal election where we have smaller turnout to work out the glitches. But, you know, if there are glitches in a system when you have a massive amount of voters coming out, it's going to cause a lot of problems. So the County Commissioners Association is working on those proposals, and I believe they did vote to recommend both of those proposals to go to the legislature and try to delay this and secure additional funding also to pay for these machines. So that's what's going on there, Commissioner.
Right. Yeah. We need the money. I mean, this is an expensive endeavor for the county. I'm not sure what the projected cost is. But it's in the millions.
3 to 4. I believe, Marion, is it 3 to 4 million for Lackawanna County we're projecting to replace our machines?
I mean, I attended 2 voting machine demonstrations down in Luzerne County, and it was with ES&S and UMIS. I don't know which vendors were at CCAP.
Yeah. ES&S and Data something was there. Data Source, I believe it was called. They were there.
But, I mean, I have a conference coming up the week of August 20th, so we're hoping to see if Farmer State gives us any other further information regarding
Yeah.
funding.
But I mean, what's the projected cost to replace our machines in Lackawanna County?
Well, I would say at least 1.5 to 1.6 million.
Okay. I thought it was higher than that.
Yeah, I
No,
did
that's-
too, 4 million.
So.
Okay. All right.
you know,
Reimbursement
that's
is only
just a
100 grand.
conservative,
If
you
even
know,
that.
If
Yeah.
that.
If even that.
You know,
But it's a big bill. Yeah.
You know what bothers me is our technology is working well, and, you know, I mean, in the past, we had the former past administration actually had, like, 2 administrations ago, they bought different machines, and they were basically, what they do? They scratched at the state that they weren't able to utilize them, and it just, you know, when we get something that's working, that's what bothers me about it. In fact,
I agree with you, Commissioner.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that people need to know what actually is being mandated by the state, and I have to say, it was duly noted that it was, you know, rejected bipartisanly by the members of CCAP, and one actually stood and said that, you know, they're being forced to accept the money, and if they don't accept the money, their machines aren't going to be certified. So he will be rejecting, and he's going to be lobbying the commissioners across the state to do the same, or to change the date, correct? Is that what he said? Yeah, to update the machines at a later time other than a presidential election, because it'd be very confusing to the electorates across the state. So, like I said, it's bipartisanly rejected that it's a good idea. Nobody thinks it's a good idea. So I do hope that the residents talk to their legislatures and opposition to that and voice their concerns in regards to how confusing that would be during a presidential election. To the Scranton Times, there was an article in today, Pot Crusader goes statewide. The only thing I would ask the Scranton Times is that they would correct what they're writing in regards to medical marijuana. It's not there's not a prescription written, it's a recommendation. Doctors cannot write a prescription for medical marijuana because it's illegal at the federal level, and there is no research validating dosages that can be given or prescribed. So until that happens, it's not a prescription, it's a recommendation. And then from there, they go to apply for this through the state website for a card to have permission to purchase through a dispensary. where there's a clerk that had 2 to 4 hours training, or a pharmacist hopefully on board, that gives them a 30-day supply, and their recommendation is to take the product at low dosages. Low and slow is the word they use. Increase it gradually as they see how it affects them. So that's how they're taking this medication. When I was out at CCAP, and I don't know if anyone had seen the articles, this won't be long, I promise, commissioners. There was an article written by the Scranton Times, I think, Jeff, for providing that form for the information to be sent out. And I did write 2 resolutions, and there's only one resolution that I really was concerned with because it is going to committee, and I'm very proud that that has happened, so I'm grateful for that. And that is the association supports legislation to permit counties to regulate or prohibit the sale or distribution of medical marijuana and hemp-infused products in some or in all fat forms, including oils, edibles, or dry leaf. And the reason being is that I had found those little candies that I had. I didn't bring them with me, but and also the fact that, you know, a lot of times I hear about, well, alcohol is passed, you know, why not marijuana? And it's interesting because I love this job. I just love being able to find the information that I'm looking for. And I did not know this, but, you know, Pennsylvania, when they went through Prohibition, I'd like to read some of the information on it. There's some municipalities that have opted out of, you know, selling alcohol or different types of alcohol, and they're allowed to do that through the state. So just reading a little paragraph here. As of August 2017, 686 Pennsylvania municipalities are at least partially dry. Dry municipalities, or those that don't allow the sale of wine, spirits, and/or malt and brewed beverages, have existed in Pennsylvania dating back to the 19th century. At the end of the Prohibition in 1933, state law made alcohol sales a local option. Voters in each municipality could retain the ban on the sale of alcohol, stay dry, or allow the sale of such products go wet. Over the years, some municipalities that were dry have voted to become wet, and some that were wet have voted to become dry. So if we have the option to either remain dry or wet, or however you want to talk about it with alcohol, then why is it that we can't have that same option when it comes to medical marijuana, or any type of marijuana sales, or just limiting certain products, like the gummies, for instance, which I don't think we should be selling in our stores, whether they be CBD or fake CBD or whatever they are. So that's all I have, and I'd like to thank my other 2 commissioners for their support and some of the issues, allowing me to talk about them. Not that they support me in all of them, but that they allow me the time. So thank you very much, and thank you all so very much for coming out. And I look forward to talking to any of you after the meeting.
Great. Commissioner Terriani?
Thank you all. Enjoyed poking out, and great to be here today, and thanks for everything. I'm sure we'll see you somewhere again.
Thank you, everyone, for having us this evening. This past weekend, Lackawanna County had Arts on the Square, which was great. It was 4 blocks all the way around the courthouse. It was a great day on Saturday. Lots of people, a lot of vendors, a lot of food vendors. People had a lot of fun. Also, 2 days ago up at Covington Park, we had Arts in the Park. At least 100 children were at it, participated. They went swimming, they had hot dogs, they had drinks. There was lots of artwork, from clay to painting to markers to crayons to face painting, you name it. And we also had a musician there, and it was great. The kids had a really, really good afternoon. I also would just like to reiterate, I'd like to thank Dominic Keating for his 12 years on the Railroad Authority Board. You know, he put his heart and soul into that, and I know he loves the refurbishments that we do on the trolleys, and he also does a great job on our Heritage Valley Board, too. Upcoming, tonight actually at 8:30, we're having Despicable Me at the courthouse, and that's for anyone that'd like to come on. It's on the Washington Avenue, the courthouse, in the nice grassy meadow area there. And there's going to be popcorn, free drinks, and the movie will start approximately 8:45. Also, on August 16th, we will be also featuring down at the courthouse again, the movie Coco, and the same thing, there'll be drinks and popcorn, and the movie will start approximately 8:45. September 14th, we'll be having our senior health fair up at PNC Field, home of the champion rail riders. They make us proud all the time, and that will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be, am I right, flu shots available. There'll be food too, right? And there'll be lots of vendors, so please come on out. September 14th, we would like to make sure that our seniors are as healthy as they possibly can be, and meet a lot of great people, a lot of great vendors are going to be there. Also, on September 22nd, we're going to be having the Lackawanna County Fishing Derby, and this will take place at Merle Sinowski Park, and that will be 11 to 1 p.m. If anybody has any questions or any information, it's at 963-6764. That's Parks and Recreation number, and they can answer all your questions. Love for the more children, the better. The lake is fabulous at Merle Sinowski Park, and I'd just like to wish everyone a happy, safe summer, and I'd like to have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Terriani? Commissioner Cummings? Yes. Commissioner O'Malley?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shortest meeting.
We're done.
This is absolutely, I drive by all the time.